Hello, everyone. It is a Wednesday. As a matter of fact, it is Wednesday, July 1st already. Gosh. It is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday. Supernatural News and Parashare. I'm your host, Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for being with us. Lots of stuff going on today, but before we get into stuff today, let's introduce our co-hostess. As a matter of fact, our buddy Joe had a whole set of monikers for her. And I don't know if I have them handy. I know he said you were the purveyor of the paranormal. That was one. My gosh, I don't have them all in front of me. My apologies, Joe. But I think the purveyor of the paranormal will say, our supernatural soul sister, here she is, Miss Mallie Fox. I'm sorry, Mallie. I will grab all of Joe's monikers for you next week. He left them all in when I do my little good mornings when I'm up in St. Cloud. Yeah. He had left a whole list of them in his good mornings.
Oh, wow.
Just gone off. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I need to get them all together and yeah.
Oh, that was very sweet of him, though. For
yeah.
taking the time.
He's a big fan of you.
Oh.
So yeah. So he arranged all that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So,
oh.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Joe.
There you go. So there, Joe, you got a hello from Mallie. There you be. There you be. How are things on your end of town?
They're good. Hot as hell, but good.
What is it with, okay, so we had beautiful weather throughout June here in the Twin Cities area. It was absolutely gorgeous. And then I don't know if the hot weather gods got jealous or what it was.
I know, right?
And they decided, you know what? The 4th of July is coming up. We need to turn up the blast furnace. It's that time of year, right?
Yeah. They went a little too extreme, though.
Oh.
They skipped like 85 to 95 and just went to 100.
Right. It got horrendous here.
Yeah.
It got so hot, I actually heard birds swear outside. It got that hot. I didn't think that birds could tweet and swear at the same time, but they can. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a celebration. I think last week I spoke about how we had our 200th anniversary for our local cemetery, and I got fried. And I was underneath a tree for most of the time.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
I know. I was in the shade. I got home and I was beet red, and I get red easily when I overheat. And Derek was making fun of me because I look like a tomato.
Oh, no.
But it was actually because I was burnt.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, gosh.
Just lather on the aloe.
No, at least. I mean, you might have to go to the hospital for third
I'm
degree
fine
burns.
there. I didn't blister or anything.
Oh, that's good.
I've done that before, but no.
Oh, that's horrible.
I was just burnt. Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting worse. It seems like the extremes in temperature are getting worse and worse. In the wintertime, we're going into the deep freeze, and in the summertime, it's getting extreme for some reason. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah. In wintertime, you're always like, I'm ready for spring. And then in summer, I'm ready for fall.
Yeah.
You don't even want to enjoy those two seasons. You want the next season.
Do we even get spring this year?
We did a little bit.
Did we? It didn't feel like
so.
It didn't feel like it. I we didn't get the, you know how you get the gradual warm up?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get that this year.
You know what? As you say that, you're right, because I didn't plant the flowers, the seeds that I was going to this year.
Yeah.
Because it was too cold.
Yeah.
So no, you're right.
Yeah, it seems like we jumped right from 30 and 40 to 70.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was like it. Yeah. One day it was like 30 or 40 degrees. The next it was 70, and I had a chipmunk in my garage. I don't know. It was like, hello. Yeah. Yeah. That was it. Speaking of, I haven't seen my chipmunks in a week.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm afraid.
Okay.
I'm afraid of the worst.
Oh.
Yeah. I've got gophers everywhere and no chipmunks.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not a good week around here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Much. Yeah.
I've got possums. They set off my ring alert.
Did they?
Yeah, at least one did. Oh, fat ass.
Yeah, right?
It was like waddling on my porch. I was like, what the hell is that?
See, people think I'm anti-squirrel because I have, Arnold, the big fat squirrel.
Yeah.
It's not. Sometimes they deserve to be called names.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a waddler.
Oh, see?
Yeah. But we've got an array of things. So, of animals. They entertain me. I'm at that age where I'm entertained.
Right. You're easily
Squirrels,
entertained
bunnies,
by it. Yeah.
birds. I get excited when I see a cardinal.
Did I tell you my cheap ass Temu camera system doesn't know and the cheap ass AI in it doesn't know how to identify animals?
Oh, no, I did not know that.
It called the bunny that's out front a gray rat.
Oh.
It's pretty funny. And it calls Arnold a black cat because he's so fat and big. It calls it a black cat on a leash. It has no leash. So I'm like, oh, look, it's the big fat black cat on a leash, and it's just Arnold.
So basically, if we're going to do AI, don't go the cheap route?
Yeah, don't go the cheap route. Don't go the Temu route. Yeah, because it can't identify shit. It knows a person when it's a person. Well,
that's good at least.
Yeah, but it doesn't know anything else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, by all means, get your electronics on Temu. They're great. They're aces, kids. They're great stuff.
Yeah. Hey, have you had anything weird happen for the last week? Because you and I were talking about strange things going on in your house last week, but
yeah.
Anything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've heard nothing but voices this week.
Oh.
Yeah. Voices all over the house. Like, it sounds like there's someone moving around in my house.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
so it's still going on.
Yeah. And then twice this week. Remember that blue screen I showed you?
Yeah.
It's happened twice this week already. Again. Outside.
Okay. And you don't have a Temu thing going on with that, correct?
No.
Okay.
And
okay.
That's happened. It's happened twice, and it's always overnight. It's always right around. Okay, for you paranormal kids, get ready to get the willies. It happens right around 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. It almost always happens as I'm right about it, because I go to bed. I'm a night owl.
Yeah, because I got your email this morning. It said like 3 o'clock for me, but so it must have been 2 something for you.
Right. It was about 2 something. So I was about to go to bed right around 3 a.m. And sure enough, I see the light go off on the camera. And I'm like, so I check the camera to see that it was recording something, to see what motion was out there. And it gave me the alert. There's motion out on the camera. I look at it. There's nothing out there, but there's that blue screen of death. And and then it fades out to show the porch, and then it fades back to blue again.
Ooh.
Like, what in the hell? I can't explain it.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, all right.
Interesting.
Something's messing with me. I don't know what it is. Yeah. It doesn't happen during the day, so it's not a camera malfunction during the day.
Right.
Or at night. And it's only happening once. It's not happening again during the night. It only happens once at that time. Or around that time.
Right.
And it's not happening every night at that time. So it's not a moisture deal. It's not, it's not a camera malfunction at that particular time. I keep trying to find a logical, it's not a consistent thing. So I'm trying to find a logical explanation for this happening. So I don't know.
Oh.
But yeah, I've heard voices. I've heard shuffling. I heard something being moved the other night. I heard what sounded like furniture being moved the other night. I mean, I went out with a box cutter in one hand, a bat in the other, because I heard a chair being moved across the floor in my dining room.
Right.
I went, all right, someone's about to get cut.
And you haven't been anywhere where you could have brought something back. You know what I mean? Like how sometimes, like back in the day when you and I used to go investigating, we would sometimes have odd things happen when, like when we get back, or you haven't brought anything home from anywhere. Because sometimes that's happened to me too when I've gone shopping, because I go shopping a lot of antique shops or estate sales and stuff, and weird things happen the following few days, but you haven't done anything strange like that, have you?
I'm trying to think if I've been anywhere
I guess that would
like
be
that
strange,
lately.
but
I don't think I've been anywhere that's
right.
I don't think so. No. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not lately. No. No, that's what makes it so strange, Mal.
Yeah.
I just know that I have, I have the one spirit here in the basement. I don't know if he's gone upstairs to keep me company.
Right, but he's never done anything like that extreme, though, in your home.
No.
And you've lived there for, several years.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So
I don't know what's going on. I don't know
if
they're just being more active to get my attention.
Right.
It's not anything I'm freaked out about.
Right.
I find it interesting.
Right.
But the noises I heard that one night really did sound like someone trying to break in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a sound like, there were sounds one night that sounded almost like a party. So I didn't worry about it because I thought it was my neighbors. We have people already blowing off fireworks in our neighborhood.
Right. Oh God. Yeah. That started in my town as well.
Yeah. So, I just thought, well, maybe
my dogs are loving it.
Yeah. Right. So I thought maybe, someone's just having a little celebration, in the neighborhood. Yeah. But then I peeked my head out the door. It was so still. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, it's not the neighborhood. But I'm like, where am I hearing that noise? Like someone's having a party.
Right.
Right.
And TV's not on.
No TV's on. Nothing. In fact, I was trying to listen to a self-hypnosis tape at the time when I heard it.
Okay. Do you think maybe that opened up something?
Maybe. I've been listening to self-hypnosis for a while.
Okay.
So, I try to deal with pain issues.
Right.
So, yeah. But it's been an interesting week. That's for sure.
Huh.
Yeah. Interesting week. So, yeah. So I get up and I look at the goldfish and I'm like, is that you in there? Of course, they're swimming around going, not us. We're trying to sleep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so that one more thing, because you said interesting week. So when I went to that thing at the cemetery, because I'm friends with the girl that's the president of the committee for the cemetery, she said they were preparing the cemetery for the event, and she went to plant some flowers, and she dug down and hit a crypt.
What?
There was no headstone. It was only 8 inches deep.
Whoa.
Yeah. No headstone, and it was only 8 inches deep. So she just quietly just kind of buried it back down. Yeah, and it had the markings. It was something about Detroit.
Really?
Like that was like on the metal top of the crypt. Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Yep. According to her, there's a map, and it says that the city that we live in, they say that there are up to 10,000 bodies. And she has the next map she has, or she's counted, the headstones that we have, she can only get up to like about 3,000 accounted for.
Really?
So we're missing 7,000 people.
What?
Yep. Of headstones and stuff. And they're in the corner of our cemetery. There's like a little potter's field thing when the influenza came through in 1918.
Yeah.
And she has up to 600 names so far of people that are involved in the mass grave back there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
but
crazy.
we're missing a lot of bodies, like headstones and things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And no one owns the cemetery.
No one owns it.
Nope.
Not
the
even.
city doesn't own it. A church doesn't own it. Nothing.
So who made?
So that's why we have a committee that takes care of it.
Oh, okay. So that's why the committee.
It's just volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But anyway, so I'm joining that committee, of course.
Okay. Well, good for you. Good for you. Yeah, I mean,
thank you. But yeah.
Interesting.
8 inches down. I always thought it had to be 6 feet down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sanitary reasons, it should be.
Yeah. But nope. It's just buried. It was just 8 inches down because she just went to plant some flowers for the event.
Wow.
Weird, huh?
Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what year that was. Did they say what year that was buried?
No, they stopped burying people. I forget. It's been a long time since they had the last burial. Because they don't allow it anymore, but it's been a really, really long time. Because it's been 200 years since it first started.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm trying to think though. It's been a really, really long time since the last person. So,
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I do have a related story later on about an interesting tombstone that came up by accident.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming up later in the program. I thought about you when I saw it, so I had to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to bring it up.
I like it when death thing comes up and people think about me.
So thought about
Death, Mallie Fox.
Death, Mallie Fox just came right up. So yeah, that's for sure. Let's jump into it, shall we? We'll jump into our interstellar news here right away. Top of the program. Interestingly enough, with everything that's been going on over in the Middle East, believe it or not, jellyfish drones is not what we would have picked when it came to the Iran war.
Okay.
Yeah. But one pilot of a downed F-15E saw a jellyfish drone swarm over Iran. A jellyfish drone. Can't say that that's one of the more popular things I would have picked in my Iran bingo game. That's for sure.
Right.
Something strange had been sighted in the skies over the country just prior to the pilot ejecting from the plane. Back in April, the crew of a U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle bailed out of the aircraft over Iran, sparking an elaborate and risky rescue effort that was ultimately successful. The exact circumstances surrounding the incident, however, are still being investigated. Perhaps the strangest thing to have come out of this in recent weeks is the claim that the pilot of the plane witnessed something strange in the sky just prior to ejecting. According to an unnamed source via CNN and other outlets, the pilot had observed a swarm of Iranian drones hovering in the sky via a formation that resembled a jellyfish, describing the spectacle as being like, this is a quote, real alien shit. He said that the drones were interconnected and moved into two distinctive groups, with the smaller drones moving like legs. The account of what went down is being investigated by the intelligence community, though there has been no formal confirmation of exactly what the pilot or weapons officer claimed to have seen. So could this be a real account of something strange over Iran, or a misinterpretation of the pilot's testimony, or has the entire thing been made up? As things stand, we just don't know. Although jellyfish drones sound intriguing, to say the least. Mm-hmm. That's for sure. Another interesting but strange occurrence happened on Mars. With the Mars rover, it detected possible evidence of ancient microbial alien life. NASA's Perseverance rover has identified some of the most tantalizing clues to date of life in the red planet's distant past. The question of whether Mars has or was once home to primitive organisms has long remained one of the most pressing mysteries in space exploration. Whereas today the red planet is a barren, freezing wasteland, billions of years ago, it was more and a lot more like Earth, with liquid water, oceans, lakes, and rivers. If life ever did emerge there, it would have most likely been during that period. Now NASA's Perseverance rover has identified a tantalizing new clue in the form of complex carbon molecules in stones discovered in an ancient dried-up riverbed. The specific carbon detected, known as macromolecular carbon, is known to be produced by life forms, although it is possible for it to be formed through geological processes. This means that while it is an interesting result, it doesn't prove that there was ever life on Mars. The rover is unfortunately not equipped with the necessary analytical tools to determine if these molecules were produced organically or geologically, with scientists instead aiming to identify particularly interesting samples for collection and future return to Earth. With the mission to pick up these samples and return them to Earth having been canceled, however, we may sadly have to wait quite a long time before anything further can be learned from them. In other words, we may have to wait until we actually get up there to test any of these samples. So
right.
There you go. Although people who believe we've been there before would probably tell you, well, it's probably not geological, but actually an honest-to-God sample from a time when there was actually life up there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, like Jesse Ventura would tell you, Jess, Mallie. God, I'm getting you confused now. You told me, Mallie. You told me. Mm-hmm. But you know, Eric Daniken would tell you it was a real life thing. So. With that, we move on. NASA will attempt an unprecedented rescue of stricken orbital observatory. The Swift telescope is in a decaying orbit and will soon be unrecoverable if something isn't done within the next few months. It was launched back in 2004. The Swift Gamma Ray Burst Explorer is an orbitable... That's a hard thing to say 10 times fast. Uh-huh. Is an orbitable observatory.
That's hard. I wonder if they could have reworded that.
Orbitable observatory.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah.
Orbitable observatory. Orbitable observatory. God, I feel like I'm back in Roy Finden's broadcasting course.
Uh-huh. You're gonna be like looking at yourself in the mirror, like brushing your teeth, and be like, orbitable
observatory. Furniture barn. I'm back to Brown Institute's pronunciation class.
Right.
Furniture barn. Temperature. W. Yes, so the Swift Gamma Ray Burst Explorer is an orbitable observatory that has proven invaluable, yet it is currently facing an existential crisis. The problem is that it is currently stuck in a decaying orbit, meaning that it will eventually burn up in the Earth's atmosphere. The clock is ticking too, as the point of no return is thought to be as soon as October of this year. Now, though, in a daring bid to rescue the observatory, NASA has hired Catalyst Space Technologies to develop a spacecraft that can grab onto Swift and boost it up into a stable orbit. The tech startup has come up with a multi-armed robotic spacecraft called Link that is designed to reach space by way of a rocket launched from an airplane. Once it gets there, it will take around a month to catch up with Swift and latch onto it, after which it will take a further 2 months to boost its orbit up from 224 miles to the goal of 373 miles. If it succeeds, it will not only have saved Swift, but it will also have paved the way for other future rescue missions. The Hubble Space Telescope, for example, may also soon need a boost to avoid it from succumbing to the same fate. The rescue spacecraft, for that, however, will need to be a lot bigger and will be a lot more powerful. I didn't know that this came with a lot of these space telescopes, that eventually we would need a craft to boost it up to save it.
Yeah, I never thought about that either.
Yeah. Interesting little story there. For this next story, we go to China, where a mystery space plane has released an unknown object into orbit. Interesting. China has deployed an unidentified payload in orbit around the Earth using its secretive Shenlong space plane, officially part of China's efforts to develop reusable spaceflight technologies. The space plane, known as Shenlong, not Shenyun, which was on my TV for like a month. By the way, It's this rant again, I know. I want to stop seeing the commercials, and we have now, for Shen Yun, but I know it's a local thing for Twin Cities people, but it was a play that had to do with the history of China. But every time I turned on my TV, I saw Shen Yun, and it drove me nuts. So I thank you for taking that off my TV now. I know it's an old man's rant, but I just wanted to stop seeing Shen Yun. But now I have Shen Long in front of me, which seems like its cousin. Its distant cousin. I need help, Mallie. I need psychotropic drugs.
I'm going to see Shen Near next time.
Shen Near? Oh, Shen Long. Shen Near.
Shen Long, Shen Near.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Aha.
Aha. I don't have that part of my button bar up. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Maybe I do. Do I? No, that wasn't it. That was a boom, boom. Oh, no, that's the other thing. Okay, on we go. Officially part of China's efforts to develop reusable spaceflight technologies, the space plane known as Shenlong has long remained something of an enigma. In reality, it is likely to perform a similar role to the X-37B, which is a secretive space plane originally developed by NASA before being handed over to the U.S. Department of Defense, which has itself conducted numerous secretive missions into space lasting up to several years at a time. Shenlong's latest mission launched on February 6th of this year, though, as usual, full details of its objectives and operations have been kept a closely guarded secret. What we do know, however, is that on June 22nd, Shenlong deployed some sort of object into orbit. The observation came courtesy of commercial orbital intelligence company Leo Labs. At 2:30 UTC on the 22nd of June 2026, Leo Labs detected an unknown object in the vicinity of the Chinese Shenlong reusable spaceplane, the firm wrote on social media. This object did not correlate to any other object in our catalog. It was first observed by our tracker radar in New Zealand. While Shenlong has been known to deploy objects in orbit before, that doesn't do much to explain what this one or any other previous ones might be doing. As usual, China's goals in Earth's orbit continue to remain a bit of a mystery. I guess it's the same as we're doing. We're just trying to figure out what the heck we're doing here.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be that nefarious, can it?
I would hope not.
I would hope not as well. Yeah. Let's see here. Did I put that story here or here? Our next story has to do with a strange and eerie discovery made on Mount Shasta, California. A mother and daughter had been horseback riding in the mountains when they discovered something very strange indeed. The area around Mount Shasta has always been steeped in mystery and intrigue, said by some to be home to the secret subterranean civilization who descended from the ancient Lemurians. The region has long been associated with unexplained phenomena. Now, recently, California resident Carrie Ann Snurr and her daughter had been horseback riding through the mountains when they started to hear strange noises echoing through the area. After a time, they came across a number of solar-powered Bluetooth speakers in the ground.
Oh.
Seems unusual. Intrigued, they continued onward until they found even more speakers, hundreds of them. Okay. Some were producing strange sounds, while others were playing a sermon-like recording. Strange. They ultimately discovered an entire field of speakers, all playing strange otherworldly noises. The find made absolutely no sense. Who had placed them there, and for what purpose? An analysis video, which includes some of the original footage, is in this story that I'm reading. I tell you what, I'm going to post this because it's kind of a long video in the description of the program, so you can watch this video and find out what exactly these speakers were doing on this hillside in California, weird. In Shasta, California. It's very bizarre. You're gonna go, huh? And finally, before we go to break, it turns out that Uranus and Neptune may be lava giants and not ice giants.
Okay.
Take from it what you will. I always thought my anus shot a bit of lava at times, generally after a huge Mexican meal.
Ew.
I mean, maybe I'm sharing too much, but
yeah, a little too. Am I?
Yeah.
TMI.
Sorry. The two outer planets in our solar system remain the least understood owing to their distance and the lack of exploratory missions. Exploratory missions in Uranus. Uranus is perhaps the most unique of all the planets in our solar systems, thanks to its peculiar tilt, which sees it rotate on its axis, set almost 90 degrees off the orbital plane of the sun. That's a video joke.
Are you tilting that way?
Yeah, it's a video joke for all of you. Beyond it, Neptune, which is 17 times the mass of the Earth, exhibits a distinctive blue color to the naked eye due to traces of methane in the outermost parts of the atmosphere. Ever since Pluto was demoted from planet status, these two mysterious and distant worlds have represented the outermost planets in our solar system. Most of what we know about them comes courtesy of the Voyager probes, but no other missions have gone there since, meaning that there's a lot that we have yet to understand about them. Now, a new study has offered up the possibility that one of the most fundamental aspects of these worlds, that they are ice giants, may be completely wrong. Instead, there's a chance that they may, in fact, have an ocean of magma on the inside. It means they're warm on the inside. This means that rather than being ice giants, they may be magma ocean giants. The research, which was conducted by a team of researchers from the University of California, used new models to show that a lava ocean could account for existing observations of these worlds. The team found that at high enough pressures, hydrogen gas can dissolve to form magma. While this doesn't prove that Neptune and Uranus really do have magma oceans, it further emphasizes just how little we actually do know about these enigmatic planets. Further exploratory missions will likely be needed for us to find out for sure one way or the other. So we do definitely need to explore Uranus further. Just letting you know. That's all I can say about that. All right, Mallie.
Yes.
When we come back, we'll let you know about the fact that AI is failing miserably around the world. There's that little tidbit, happy tidbit for today. We've got a couple of ghost stories here, including on the day of Lady Jane Grey's execution. There's somebody who discovered a new ghost where she died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got that little ghost story coming up today. America's time capsule for 2276 includes futuristic predictions from AI. It's an unusual story we'll tell you about today. People in the Andes have evolved into a remarkable new ability. We'll tell you what that is. Humans are still evolving, thank God. And there's a story from yesterday that we're going to continue today that we'll tell you about. Oh, by the way, we also have that story from Mallie about a fallen tree that unearths a century-old secret in a New York cemetery. We pulled it just for Mallie. It's not for the rest of you. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't get excited, people. It's just for Mallie. But the story that will continue from yesterday, which is very, very unusual. A legal row has broken out over a Scottish man's emotional support lizard. I have to tell Mallie about this story because I really do find this incredibly ridiculous. So I have to continue it for a second day.
So glad you thought of me.
Yeah. Our palate cleanser today just happens to do with the luck of the luck. We'll put it that way. And we do have Parashare today. We do have a Parashare story. So we'll share that with you as well today.
Hey, speaking of luck of the luck, super quick.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the guy that had a heart attack while he was getting rid of his victim? And
Yeah.
they found both bodies?
We had it yesterday on Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals.
I was wondering if you were going to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's more swift justice, I think.
Yes. Yes. He deserved it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was it.
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
Yeah. We got on top of that before everybody else did, I think. Because I have a feeling we're going to get that from a lot of people this week.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be sending that our way. Yeah, that's for sure. Speaking of, I'm going to send a lot of people over to Jelly Bean and Julia's this week.
Oh, I saw a picture you posted. I don't know if it was last week.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was recently, but it was a picture of the, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was over there for smoked prime rib dinner, and I'll tell you something, Mallie, it was so good. Oh my goodness.
Oh, good.
Oh my
Do you go over
goodness.
there every Friday?
Almost every Friday.
Or okay.
Yeah, almost every Friday for smoked prime rib dinner, I'll tell you. Here are the specials for the rest of the week. By the way, for today and tomorrow, happy hour, 25% off all appetizers, excluding appetizer sampler, half price single pour well drinks, half price Mick Golden Lights, and Coors Light taps, half price domestic cans and bottles. On Friday, of course, the smoked prime rib dinner. I'm so excited. Can you tell?
It looked delicious.
Oh, it's so good. Again, like Mallie had mentioned, you can go to my Facebook page and Instagram page. You can take a look at it. That smoked prime rib comes in either a 12-ounce or a 16-ounce prime rib, done the way you want it to perfection. Oh, it's such a great smoky taste to it. Corey is smoking that thing for 12 to 14 hours in that walk-in smoker, that beautiful walk-in smoker there in Coon Rapids Boulevard there in Coon Rapids. They start serving at 4:30. They stop
the time.
Oh my gosh. I know, right? It's like early bird. I mean,
yep.
they start serving that thing at 4:30 and they stop serving when it's gone. I tell you, it goes quick. But you get that. You get the famous tequila berry salad with that sweet and tangy dressing with the bacon bits and the croutons and everything. You get the Texas toast. Although the last time I went, they had like a sourdough toast, I think.
Okay.
Right. But you also get the Boston baked potato. Didn't that baked potato look amazing?
Mm-hmm.
I got it loaded. So I got everything. I got the sour cream, the bacon bits, the butter. My cardiologist called me. He said, "Don't you dare come into this office this week."
You haven't blocked from your account.
I blocked him on my phone. I refused to go in for tests. But because with the Boston baked potato, they actually deep fry it in avocado oil. It's a healthy fat. I did not
know that.
Yes,
okay.
It's a healthy fat. But
okay, that part's healthy.
Yes, that part's healthy. But yeah, but it's
right.
a big old fat bomb. But it's good. By gosh, yeah. It's the most tender baked potato you'll ever have in your life. It's so good though, Mallie. Oh, it's so good. I'll tell you one thing about eating at Jelly Bean and Julia's though. You do not, because they do use healthy fats in their restaurant. Okay. You do not come out of there feeling bloated.
Oh, that's good.
I've never come out of a meal at Jelly Bean and Julia's feeling bloated. Honestly, my hand to God. I've come out of there feeling wonderful.
Oh, good.
Each time I've had a meal at Jelly Bean and Julia's. So, but that smoked prime rib dinner every Friday night there at Jelly Bean and Julia's. On Sunday, breakfast at Jelly Bean and Julia's. You can get chicken and waffles, much, much more. It's so good. Everything is so good there at Jelly Bean and Julia's. Check it out, jellybeanandjulias.com. Link in the description of the program, jellybeanandjulias.com in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Go check out. Corey and Coley have everything lined up for you. Their brisket is life-changing as well. Oh my gosh, brisket is life-changing. Go check them out, jellybeanandjulias.com. They're waiting for you. All right, when we come back, ghosts. We've got an unusual story about a cemetery. We've got an unusual story about people in the Andes who are changing. They're getting abilities. And someone got real lucky this past week. We'll tell you about them right after this on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio on a Wednesday. Supernatural news and Parashare with your hosts, Tim and Mallie. Guess what, Mallie?
What?
It's that time again. Yeah? You're not excited?
No. When have I ever really been excited about AI?
Oh, I have some exciting news in this one. You ready for this?
Yeah, bring it.
You're like, yeah, bring it. It turns out AI might have stepped on a schlong this week. We start out at the Ford company, where Ford has rehired human engineers after AI failed to match its quality checks.
Good. I hate to hear when people lose their jobs.
That's right.
Because of AI.
That's right. Ford says it's hired back some of its human engineers after AI failed to match their skills and expertise. There's a shock. Couldn't have told you that was going to happen. In a bid to reap the benefits of the tech, which developers claim can cut costs and boost productivity, the U.S. car maker adopted it across some parts of its operations, including for quality checks. But according to Bloomberg, its executives said the firm has rehired more than 300 veteran quality inspectors in recent years to make up for the pitfalls of automated systems. According to, this cannot be this guy's name. This has to be a rib. The vice president of vehicle hardware engineering for Ford's name is Charles Poon. He said artificial intelligence is a fantastic tool, but it's only as good as the information you use to train it. That according to Charles Poon. Over prior years, we didn't pay as much attention as we should, or as we should have, to the experience of our most knowledgeable engineers that have been with us through many product cycles, he said. The U.S. automaker is among many to have seized on the buzz around AI, particularly amid Wall Street fervor about the tech's potential to increase margins. AI will leave a lot of white-collar people behind, Ford boss Jim Farley, Chris's brother, said in an interview with author Walter Isaacson last June. In an October earnings call, Chief Operating Officer Kumar Galhotra said the firm was deploying AI across the entire industrial system. This includes rolling out 900 AI-powered cameras in its plants to detect quality issues at the source and help us mitigate supply disruptions, Galhotra told investors. But Poon told reporters on Wednesday the firm's AI-driven checks had failed to live up to expectations. Mistakenly, we thought that just by introducing artificial intelligence and ingesting the design requirements that we had, that we could produce a high-quality product, he said. Poon reportedly pointed to the automated tools lacking the training and expertise of veteran technicians, many of whom he said had left the company before their knowledge could be used to improve its tech. Whoops. Mm-hmm. He said that human workers had since been reintroduced to train up the systems, as well as mentor younger workers. Oh, sure, bring them back to train up the tech and then, fire them.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense to me. All right, meanwhile, more good news, Mallie. Are you ready for this?
Sure.
This company has pulled their delivery robots from all college campuses, and the undergrads are weeping. In fact, it happened as close as the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Okay.
College campuses across the country will no longer be swarming with tiny rolling robots. It turns out that Starship Technologies, a leading delivery robot company, has announced earlier this month that it was ending its university operations and redeploying over 1,000 of its meal machines. The news is just starting to sink in as various partnered universities all issue official communications mourning the program's end like obituaries for celebrities passing. There's actually people crying about this. I don't get that. The time has come for the takeout drones to hit the big leagues, as the company intends to focus on doing deliveries for grocery chains and restaurants in cities instead, and shut-in no-tipping undergrads from coast to coast are now weeping.
Oh.
Dope. We're seeing a lot of traction for delivery robots across numerous industries, including industrial, universities, and corporate, but it's time for us to focus on the vertical. We feel we have the most value both for our clients and for Starship, CEO Ati Heinle said in a statement. Symbolically and literally, the pullout is a pretty big deal for Starship. That's what Grace Slick said. Thank you very much.
I was wondering if you're going to say pullouts are a pretty big deal.
Serving student. That's an old
one. I know what you're thinking.
I know, right? That's a whole joke. Boy, if I pull out a Grace Slick punchline, you know I'm old. Serving students was how it had made a name for itself in the U.S. when it was first unleashed a sortie of its burger butlers at George Mason University in 2019. It went on to partner with more than 60 other universities, which acted as a more forgiving laboratory to test its roaming dumbwaiters than the unpredictable chaos of city streets. The COVID-19 pandemic was also an unexpected boon for the company, during which its robots delivered up to 400 orders per day at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Imagine that, 400 orders a day.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, students don't do a lot at UW-Madison, do they?
Stop.
Broke students have come to love the uncomplaining delivery bots, at least according to Starship's own survey. Some 97% of the over 5,000 students. Wait, there's 5,000 students and they deliver 400 times a day? Do these people eat at the cafeteria? Over 5,000 students that queried said they liked or loved the robots, which the company brags is one of the highest approval ratings for any AI-powered tech out there. They say our campus partnerships have been foundational to who we are, a Starship spokesperson said. So other than the fact that they don't tip, why are you taking it away from them?
Right.
Right? There is one ward, by the way, in Chicago that's banned delivery robots from operating in the area, highlighting the company has its work cut out to win over urban residents. So evidently they're not well liked in urban areas.
Oh, maybe because people are losing out on money from like DoorDash and stuff.
Probably, yeah. But, there's that. All right. And finally... sometimes when AI makes them, the snozberries don't taste like snozberries. And a burger just doesn't taste like a burger. What's that?
Is that a reference to Willy Wonka?
Oh, yeah, a Willy Wonka reference. And sometimes a burger just ain't a burger.
Mm-hmm.
AI has created the ideal burger to save the planet, and it tastes like mushrooms.
Ew.
Ew, I know, right? I mean, if you like mushrooms.
I tried to do that mushroom thing. It's gross.
See, I like mushrooms.
Not taking shrooms, but like, you know how you can get like the powdered shroom stuff to like drink and everything for like health.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's nasty. It's like drinking dirt.
Yeah, no. The mushroom-based patty recipe was designed by American scientists using more than 2,200 recipes, and AI has achieved an environmental impact much lower than a popular fast food burger. I'll eat the fast food burger, thank you.
Yeah, I like meat.
Yeah, it's good. It tastes good, too. Yeah. I mean, sorry for all the vegans out there, but...
yeah, I apologize.
Yeah, we apologize profusely. The ideal...
Sorry.
What's that?
Said sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, but not sorry. Yeah. The ideal burger for taste, health, and saving the planet has been created using AI technology. The resulting mushroom-based patty recipe was designed by American scientists using more than 2,200 recipes to achieve an environmental impact much lower than a popular fast food burger. It combines portobello mushrooms, arugula, rosemary, grains, and condiments. Oh, they put rubber in a burger. No, I'm kidding.
Put what?
I said, and condiments. Then I said they put rubber in a burger. You just got to follow
gotcha.
along.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's,
gotcha.
Yeah, I tried a Mallieism. It didn't work.
Why are you calling it Mallieism? I think I'm insulted on that one.
Why?
Because that one was bad.
Okay, sorry. And the recipe can now be personalized to suit every palate using state-of-the-art AI technology. So you can mess around with it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Professor Ellen Kuehl estimates that there are more than 1,000 potential burger recipes in the world, and using Burger AI, oh God, it's an actual tool you can use, a tool developed in her lab at Stanford University in California, artificial intelligence can now design personalized patties that best suit your age, taste, nutritional needs, and even your sustainability goal. Burger AI. Oh, we are officially at the end of the world. Burger AI. Professor Kuehl explained that Burger AI's ability to suggest a great-tasting, nutritionally complex, sustainably produced burger is only part of the story. She says that more broadly, the innovation heralds a shift for AI itself, moving it from prediction to design. Professor Kuehl, who directs Stanford BioX, is an interdisciplinary life sciences institute that brings together researchers across medicine, said most AI systems are trained to predict what already exists. We wanted AI to invent what should exist next. Burger AI does not ask what burger is most likely. It asks what burger best satisfies these important and complex objectives. Professor Kuehl says food is the next big thing in biosciences, a focus that combines elements of human experience and culture, health and nutrition, and environmental impact. Interesting. So, you too can get a burger that's nutritionally dense and tastes like shit. So, way to go.
But kudos to those that like that stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So if you like that, you're getting what you're getting what you pay for.
Right.
Good on you. I'm gonna get me a regular burger.
Yeah.
Yeah. To each their own.
Mm-hmm.
God go with you. That's all I got to say about that. That's all I got to say about that. All right. You pick story or Parashare.
We can do Parashare. We haven't done Parashare in a long time.
Like you said, it's been a while since we've done Parashare. By the way, if you have a Parashare story for us, you can send it by email, tim@darknessradio.com. You can also send us an audio note by going to our website, darknessradioshow.com. There's a blue button on the right-hand side. Click that button. You've got 2 minutes in which you can send us a note. If you need more time, click that blue button again. You got another 2 minutes. Rinse and repeat. You get the idea. We'll stitch it together. We'll play it here. If you've got a studio like the one I'm sitting in right here, you can also send us a video note. We'll play the video note here on the show. So here we go. This comes from Jimmy A. It says, "Hi, Tim. I've been listening to the show for a while now and submitted a couple stories in the past. Here's a story of my most recent experience with the paranormal, more specifically, possibly having to do with a ghost or an otherworldly visitor. One night, my 4-year-old daughter woke my fiance and I up, calling out for me. She was yelling out in a scared voice. I went to her room to see what was going on, and to my shock, she told me she saw something moving in the corner of her room by the window, and it was saying hi to her. This instantly gave me the chills, and I let her sleep in our room for the rest of the night. The next day, I went to her room to investigate. The next day? Why not right away?
I know, exactly. Lights on, start moving things around.
That's right. The next day, I went to her room to investigate, and in the corner by the window, hanging from a string, was an older-looking picture printed or painted of an angel looking after two kids lost walking in the woods, imprinted on a 9x7 tree ring. My fiance informed me that her grandmother, who passed away a long time ago, passed that on to her when she was a little kid. More recently, just the week before, my grandmother passed away at the ripe old age of 100. My grandmother would definitely be interested in the depiction of the angel. I imagined her as if she was in the room touching this to get a better look. Since then, about 6 months later, my fiance and I had another baby, and he and my daughter now share that room. Every night, it's my job to give the baby a bottle around the 3 a.m. hour, and I say a little protection prayer and thank the angels for looking after us and my children. Hope everyone enjoys the story, and I look forward to sharing more with you. Sincerely, Jimmy A. Well, Jimmy, that's a wonderful story. Wonderful story. Mm-hmm. I would just suggest maybe going in a little sooner. That's all. Than the next day. Just in case the kids need you a little sooner, you know? But other than that, great story.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know you went in and, you know, I know they came in to you and, you know. The next day, if I would have heard stuff crawling around in my, like I heard stuff crawling around in my kitchen, right? I didn't wait until the next day. My TV would have been gone.
Right.
Right?
I wonder if the baby monitor will catch anything now. You know what I mean? Since they have a little, they have a newborn in there.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
I'm assuming they'll have a baby monitor.
Yeah. Well,
so I wonder if it's going to catch anything.
It's a good point. Yeah. You never know. Voices or maybe even catch a glimpse of grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point. Yeah. Let us know, Jimmy, if you catch something on the baby monitor, let us know. Keep us apprised of what's going on.
Yes.
That's for sure. All right. Our next story, actually, I pulled up an article about ghosts and grandeur checking in with Canada's historic palatial railway hotels. In the late 19th century, Queen Victoria was desirous. She was delirious as well. But she was desirous of a railway network across her then Dominion of Canada that would connect settlements of either coast for the first time. But it says Canny Canucks. You're not going to like the fact that I said that, Canada, sorry. But it's in the article. It says Canny Canucks didn't want just cheap freight lines. They had far grander designs. The railroad would drive tourism from coast to coast, but while offsetting the enormous cost of construction. To lure travelers, hotels were built as pilgrimage-worthy landmarks. If someone gets off in the middle of a journey and spends the day in the hotel, it's more revenue for the company, said architectural historian Hal Kalman, who wrote the definitive history of these hotels. More were deliberately designed in a mashup of styles that nodded back to Europe. It was to show that we're a serious nation, added Craig Baird, who is the host of the Canadian History X podcast. They were created in a uniquely Canadian style, perfect for making posters to encourage people from Britain to come here. The network of palace-style properties expanded rapidly across the country from Nova Scotia to British Columbia, with dozens dotting the route by World War II. They fell from favor as car ownership became widespread in the 1950s, and many were demolished or repurposed for other commercial uses. A few managed to dodge the wrecking ball, though, and survive into this century. Baird says around a dozen are still operating across the country. This article listed the 7 best, a few of them even being somewhat haunted, I guess. It says here all of them are haunted, every single one, according to Baird. We'll let you judge for yourself if you go to them.
Okay.
According to this, the Fairmont Banff Springs in Banff opened in 1888. It says the vibe is Scottish Lord on the Prairie. The 757-room property was built after railway workers discovered natural hot mineral springs here inside what became Banff National Park, with its own bowling alley, 5 tennis courts, and 40,000 square foot spa. It arguably is the most famous of the former railway hotels. It says, what you need to know about this, and no, you're not imagining it, the building doesn't make the most of the views across the valley to Mount Rundle. The original architect snafu'd on the orientation, designing the H-shaped structure backwards. So much for the view. The spook factor here, you might spot the ghost bride who supposedly tripped on her dress and fell down a marble staircase to her death in the 1920s.
Ooh.
She was a bit of a klutz, I guess. Or bellman Sam Macaulay, the helpful ghost of the Scottish head bellman who died 50 years ago. So maybe he can carry your bags up to your room or not. Mm-hmm. He's a ghost.
Right.
So there's that little interesting tidbit about that hotel. The next hotel is the Fairmont Royal York in Toronto, which opened in 1929, and it is a Jazz Age giant. It is a limestone-clad 28-story skyscraper right across from Union Station in a prime perch downtown with more than 1,000 rooms, plus its own concert hall and hospital. It had underground walkways to funnel guests to the train. The ghost story behind this, idle on the 8th floor, you may spot the hotel's most frequent spectral guest, an older man with gray hair wearing a maroon smoking jacket who glides silently along the hallway and the dormitory tower. Interesting. The next hotel is the Fairmont Le Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City. It opened in 1893. It is an urban fairy tale type hotel. The imposing turreted wedding cake of a building dominates the skyline of Quebec City with its Loire Valley-inspired design. You might recognize it as the location of the final scene of Hitchcock's 1953 movie, I Confess. The spook factor here, the namesake French nobleman and early governor of New France in the 1680s, allegedly sits and stares out the window here, yearning for his never-to-arrive fiancée more than 3 centuries later.
Oh.
So if you dress up like her, you might get lucky. I just made that part up. The next hotel, the Fairmont Palatial in Calgary. This is opened in 1914 and is an old-school skyscraper. The 4-star, 407-room hotel was named after Captain John Palliser, who surveyed Western Canada in the 1850s and was an instant landmark, helping to establish Calgary's rep as more than just a pioneer town. The ghost story here, if you look for a man dressed in a railway conductor's uniform wandering the halls, or a socialite scampering down the stairs in 1940s dress to the former drawing room, well, you've pretty much seen the ghosts. There you go. We go to the Algonquin Resort in St. Andrews, which opened in 1889. The vibe there is Henry VIII on holiday. And there's a need to know here, evidently. There's great golf in the Canadian town named after its spiritual home. The game has been played there since 1894, but the Par 72 course you can play today was set out in the last decade by Rod Whitman. So there's a golf course connected to the Algonquin Resort there at St. Andrews. The ghost factor here is if you want a few sleepless nights, you ask for room 308 and 373, where strange phenomena has been noticed, or book room 473, where you might hear the sobs of the jilted bride who was stood up at the altar, and then she jumped out the window.
Ooh.
Yeah. That doesn't make for a very good night's sleep, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
No. Next, we go to the Fairmont Empress in Victoria, which was built in 1908 or opened in 1908. The vibe is Versailles in the Highlands. It escaped demolition via a 1960s fundraising effort nicknamed Operation Teacup, after its famed afternoon tea, always served, so wags report, on cups wide enough that genteel ladies could gossip behind them without their mouths being seen. Interesting little tidbit there. Here's the ghost factor. Francis Rattenbury, the architect behind the original building, was murdered by his wife's lover at his home in England, but reputed to roam his beloved hotel as an apparition. So you just ask for room 712 if you fancy company. There you go. Our next hotel is the Fairmont Chateau Laurier in Ottawa. It was opened in 1912. And the story behind this one, it opened just weeks after the death of the man who built it, and so many others of the landmark properties, the Grand Trunk Railway magnate Charles Melville Hayes, who perished on the Titanic. The ghost factor here, sure, some staff have claimed to see Hayes haunting the halls of the hotel that he never saw, but more common reports suggest that a little girl here, who's likely behind the breaking of the furniture and opening doors that happen without human help. Oh. A little girl does all that?
Yeah.
Interesting. So those are some of the railway hotels in Canada that you can check out that are haunted.
Okay.
Interesting story. Our next ghost story has to do with Lady Jane Grey's execution. And a woman who claims, I think it's a woman who claims here that, or somebody who claims that on the day of Lady Jane Grey's execution, I discovered a new ghost where she died. Here's the story. Walking through the half-empty cobbles of the Tower of London, the overcast day makes tour guides in Tudor dress seem like they are overcompensating for something we all feel is off. Weaving around packs of bored school children, it says here, I found a girl solemnly removing a singular rose from a purple plastic wrap and placing it on the monument dedicated to Catherine Howard, Lady Jane Grey, and many others who were beheaded on Tower Green. Hauntingly, flowers, many of which are roses, have been left for the women who lost their lives here. Lady Jane Grey was named King Edward the Sixth's. That's a bad... Boy, Tim, bad English. Sixth's successor just before his death in July of 1553. The 16-year-old was queen for just 9 days before she was executed under the orders of Mary I in 1554. According to this woman, she said, I visited on the 473rd anniversary of her death. One grief-stricken tourist, who we can hope is a distant ancestor, left a bunch of pale yellow roses adorned with a heartfelt message. It read, for Lady Jane Grey, a beautiful young lady taken from the world too soon because of greed and power. May you rest in peace and know that you are never forgotten by those who have come after you, thinking of you today and always. Then I met 18-year-old Hannah Rose. Intercepting her after the moment, she put a rose down on the bizarre, incongruous glass sculpture. I ask her who she is laying the flower down for. I see a lacquered medallion of a Tudor woman on her neck. She told me Catherine Howard was executed here in 2 days' time in 1542, February 13th, and explains that it is who is on her necklace. It's a rose without a thorn, Hannah said. I had to. The student was referring to Henry VII, calling Catherine, his fifth wife, his rose without a thorn. He later beheaded her for adultery. She was around 19 or 20 when Henry ordered her execution. Hannah went on to tell me, although she is obsessed with Catherine Howard, she does not want to pursue history at university, but musical theater. Her dream role, of course, Henry's fifth wife in the musical Six. I asked if Hannah had ever seen or felt anything ghostly. Her eyes widen, and she says she did at Henry VII's palace at Hampton Court. She was walking the Tudor king's route from his private apartments to the chapel when she felt as though she had walked through cling film. She said, I felt a pain in my back, and I felt like reality had broken, she said. She said what she had experienced was an egregore, in the haunted gallery. Without knowing it was a famously haunted space, Hannah felt deeply affected by this presence. An egregore was an entity which is thought to be born from the collective fear of the masses, a human-made placebo ghost of mass hysteria, if you will. The question of the power of these women's legacies has come into play. Along with Anne Boleyn, there was a total of 10 people executed in one spot over the years. There's no wonder that there's reports of Lady Jane Grey's ghost appearing on the anniversary of her death, walking silently along the battlements. Are there ghosts born from human fear? Does this mean that all ghosts are egregores? She was most seen by 2 guardsmen as recently as 1957, who described a white shape forming itself on the battlements. The yeoman warders, who wear traditional Tudor dress of red velvet, live inside the walls with their families year-round. It says here, I am directed to them when I ask about the Tower Green Memorial. Hilariously tight-lipped, the warders look past me with feigned disinterested, saying they are warned not to talk to journalists when I ask about Lady Jane Grey's ghost. Aside from stories about pilgrims throwing themselves on the floor of St. Thomas More's cell, they are not interested in talking to me about her ghost. Everyone knows the stories about Henry VII's wife, divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. The juxtaposition of the obsession with these immoral executions of 3 young women in such close succession in a place that's so often visited by happy-go-lucky tourists today cannot go without noting. If you were living in the grounds of a place where so many women had their heads cut off, would you acknowledge your ghosts, knowing that this could make their memory a little bit more powerful? I would nod distantly and redirect any pesterers to the press office, is what this journalist went on to say. Interesting little story. I think the ghost she's talking about is the ghost of the murders, so to speak. Mm-hmm. It's a metaphor, Mallie. And a clever one at that. All right. I told you earlier, I'd found this story about a New York cemetery where a fallen tree had unearthed a century-old secret. When a tree fell during a storm in a historic Rochester cemetery recently, it unearthed or uncovered a century-old secret, something that no one had expected. Mount Hope Cemetery is one of Rochester's most unique attractions. It's a pretty special place, said Chris Patote, who is a volunteer for Friends of Mount Hope Cemetery, a group which helps with upkeep of the 200-acre property. We were voted for 3 years the #1 tour for the city of Rochester. It's a great place, said Tom Jones, a fellow volunteer. You come here, it's peaceful. It's in the middle of the city, but you can hear the birds chirping and deer running by and things like that. The cemetery is the final resting place for more than 370,000 Rochesterians. And it turns out, one long-deceased woman whose tombstone has people talking. Last week, there was a big windstorm. Jones was in the cemetery at the time, and he drove around looking for damage. He found an old Norway maple lying across several grave markers. Then he took a closer look. I just happened to look over my shoulder, and it's like, wow, he said, it's like right there. A headstone which had been buried beneath the ground and the trunk of the tree almost perfectly preserved. I've never seen anything like that, said Jones. Being exposed like that. No, that was a trip. Jones shared some photos with Patote, who later posted the discovery on the Friends of Mount Hope Facebook page. The response was immediate. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy, he said. Patote began researching the name on the stone. Edna Amelia Goodman Allen died in 1918, the wife and mother of a young son who was just 26. Somehow her headstone held up. At first I thought it was great because it was very legible, he said, or she said rather. You could read it, which was my assumption, because it's been underground. It's been protected. It's a real feel-good story, said Jones. You know, someone who had been there, she died over 100 years ago, and now we're talking about her. Volunteers are waiting on city cemetery crews to remove the mess so they can spruce up the gravesite. It was something unusual and neat to find, said Patote. We'll do our best to do her justice. So this thing was buried underground and then unearthed by this fallen tree.
Huh.
Yeah. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff. Next story. I don't know what to think of this next story, to be honest with you, but we'll give it a shot anyways. Of course, it's put out by the Daily Star overseas, so take it for what you will. But their headline is, the scorching heat wave that's happening over there may turn Brits into killer demons, according to a paranormal expert.
Huh.
I don't know that I put much in that, but according to them, the heat dome sending temperatures rocketing up to 40 degrees Celsius across the UK could see supernatural beings take control of people's bodies, according to Robert Palm. I don't know that we hold that belief here. I've only seen this over in England. Is this anything that you've ever subscribed to? No. So take it with a grain of salt, kids. I'll read it and then you judge for yourself. The blistering heat engulfing the UK this week could result in people being possessed by killer demons, according to an expert, at least over there. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It says here, paranormal eggheads. Again, I'm reading from an article, so don't take it as gospel from me. It says here, paranormal eggheads say supernatural entities could take partial or full control of a person's body or consciousness as the weather continues to heat up across Europe. Expert Robert Palm warned demons thrive in the scorching conditions. Watch out for demons in your area this week.
Right.
Yeah. In folklore and mythology, demons are historically associated with intense heat, specifically the fires of the underworld. Okay. And demons draw on what is around them for strength and energy. So the hotter it is, the more powerful they become. It is what. So really, they come up here to vacation? Is that the deal? It is why temperatures drop when spirits are around. They pull all the heat and energy into themselves. Okay. Europe's most recent heat dome event happened in May and has left top weather experts fearful of the future. Peter Thorne, the director of the Icarus Climate Research Center at Maynooth University in Ireland, said climate change is making the phenomenon more likely. He said many of the records being set, particularly in the UK and France, are mind-bogglingly crazy, he said. A heat dome, is explained by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, is a phenomena created by high-pressure atmospheric conditions moving slowly and begin sinking over a geographic region. This air forms a cap over the area which prevents hot air from escaping, making temperatures unbearable. Mr. Palm went on to say, demons thrive in the heat, so the news of intense heat and being unable to escape it in large parts of the world could make conditions where spirits such as demons and those wanting to do harm could thrive. I don't know that I buy this at all.
I don't think so.
No. Speaking of signs and symptoms of demonic possession, fellow expert Michael Murchie said it can be a terrifying sight. He said, this comes from a spiritual point of view, not a psychological or scientific one. I fully accept that some suspected cases of possession are nothing more than mental illness. That being said, some cases can stand out, such as those with professional witnesses that cannot be so easily discounted. It may be hard for you to be able to tell if you are possessed by a demon. He said the best option you have is to call a priest who has been trained in exorcism. So there you go. And I would say probably sit in front of a fan just to be safe, just to keep yourself safe from any, possession.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right. All the confirmed Loch Ness Monster sightings in 2026. I don't know that we'll get to all of them here, but I tell you what, I'll post it on the site, or not on the site, but in the description of this program. But we'll hit the highlights here. According to this story, it says that there's been more than 1,000 sightings since they started keeping track, but there have been 6 reported so far this year in the loch near Inverness, the same amount reported in total last year. 5 have been reported by eyewitnesses, while 1 was made through a webcam. On March 1st, that was the first one, U.S. tourist Tony Inhorn claimed to have seen a dark greenish or gray body of what appeared to be Nessie emerging from the water. He said he thought it was either the top of Nessie or the side, suggesting it was positioned at a 45-degree angle. The most recent one, let's see if I can get to the most recent one. I don't think it's going to let me here. But I tell you what, there's been 6 so far. I'll post this, for time's sake, I'll post the story in the description of this program so you can get all of them. And you can read them for yourself. But they're interesting. I'll tell you, there's not been anything solid this year, Mallie. Like, no one said, "Oh, Nessie came up, kissed me on the cheek, and we got a selfie together," right? I mean, nothing like, like great. But I'll show you the one that they claim is the most.
Oh.
Yeah, like that's like the most solid that they claim they've gotten on camera, and I'm showing everybody on video, and I'm showing Mallie what it looks like, and that's pretty blurry, right?
Yeah,
that's not.
It's very straight.
Yeah, it's very straight. That could be driftwood, that could be the edge of an island, that could be whatever you're looking at there. I mean, there's not really much to go on so far. That's why I'm not giving it much more credence than it deserves. But yeah, there's been 6 so-called sightings so far this year. So there's that. Let's move on to our next story. America's time capsule for 2276 includes a few futuristic predictions from Claude, which is an AI system. It's interesting that the beginning of the story starts out, can you predict what might happen 250 years from now? It's a difficult task, especially when you think about everything that's occurred in the past 250 years. The world of 1776 would be completely alien to those of us living in the 2020s. If you think about it, now this would kind of blow your mind if you think about it, Mal. The people of 1776 were living before the widespread adoption of comforts like indoor plumbing. Right? I mean, that in itself is kind of mind-blowing. But nobody knew about fundamental scientific concepts like germ theory. Germs were huge. Right. That was a wild concept back in 1776. The Wright brothers weren't even a gleam in their father's eye in 1776. So here in 2026, we've run out of new ideas, and we bet our chips on AI coming up with fresh new ones. So of course, Anthropic's AI chatbot Claude was recently asked about making several predictions for the year 2276, specifically involving California. As part of America's 250 celebrations, each state and U.S. territory now contributed to a time capsule that will be buried in Philadelphia on July 4th of 2026. Some states understood the assignment, with New Mexico including things like a bolo tie, Nevada placing poker chips in the 900-pound time capsule. Other states' contributions were pathetic, with Kansas submitting a single page that lists government officials. Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah, they didn't quite get on board with what was being done there. And then my iPad is giving up the ghost here. Here we go. California arguably did the best job. They included a qubit chip from the University of California, Berkeley, a fusion conductor segment from General Atomics, and a NASA photo of California from space. California also included the aforementioned predictions, which obviously difficult to judge since we don't know what the future holds. We might as well take a look anyways. So here's a little bit of what they forecast. The forecast was made after feeding Claude the prompt. This was the prompt. Write me a prediction of what California will be like 250 years from July 4th of 2026. Okay. Right off the bat, it sounds like California engaged in a type of soft secession from the United States.
Oh, God.
That's kind of fun. By the 22nd century, it says here, California has ceased to be merely a state. Following the Pacific Secession Accords of 2089, a decades-long negotiation born from water rights disputes, federal gridlock, and coast reshaped by 3 feet of sea rise, California formally became the first American member state of the Pacific Federation.
Oh, boy.
A constitutional union also comprising Oregon, Washington, and British Columbia. It retains all ties to the broader United States, but governs its own climate policy, immigration, and currency supplement. It's pretty much its own country. Sacramento remains the symbolic capital. The true center of civic life is now a newly built city called Tidal, as in Tidal.
Okay.
Constructed on elevated ground in what was once the Central Valley, engineered for the floods that come every 40 years like clockwork. Doesn't sound like we've done a very good job taking care of stuff. Gizmodo reached out to Governor Gavin Newsom's office to ask whether the prediction was massaged in any way. They didn't hear anything back, but find it interesting that Claude would essentially predict the creation of Cascadia, which is an idea with roots in the 19th century. Typically, Cascadia only includes the Pacific Northwest, but Claude seems to think the entire West Coast, including California, will have some autonomy from the federal government in decisions like climate change and water rights. The prediction also includes a quote from some kind of political leader who's never explained. The political leader is Premier Isadora Chen Nakamura in 2241 that says, the coast did not retreat. We did. And then we built something better. Interesting. The idea of how California's coast may change is prominent in the predictions, including what will happen along the coastal areas of Los Angeles. According to Claude, Santa Monica and Venice, which both touch the Pacific Ocean, will become managed wetlands and marine sanctuaries. But greater Los Angeles will also become much more dense with vertical cities housing millions of people. Inland, like places like Pasadena and Glendale, there will be towers of compressed earth and timber by 2276. It's kind of weird. Los Angeles, its famous basin, now partially inundated along the old shoreline, has evolved into a vertical city of extraordinary density. Much of what was Santa Monica and Venice is managed wetland and marine sanctuary, an engineered reef system producing a quarter of Southern California's protein. Inland on the high mesa from Pasadena through Glendale, towers of compressed earth and timber house 11 million people, cooled by passive systems that the 20th century never imagined building. No one mourns the freeways. They were converted to linear parks and pneumatic freight corridors in the 2130s. Bizarre. They talk about, and I'll make this kind of quick here because it's a little long. I tell you what, I'll post the rest of it, but they talk about the Sierra Nevada snowpack. They say it collapsed catastrophically in the 2060s. And it's been partially restored through cloud seeding programs and a vast network of atmospheric water condensers along the ridgeline. I mean, AI's got a good sense of imagination. I'll put it that way. The condenser forests, solar-powered arrays of mesh towers that wring moisture from marine air, are now old enough that the actual trees have grown up through them, making parts of the range look like impossible hybrid of industry and wilderness. The Central Valley, no longer the world's produce basket, is a mosaic of restored native grassland, managed aquifer recharge basins, and vertical framing campuses. Agriculture is 90% automated and 12% of the land. The rest has been rewilded by statute. They say San Francisco, famously predicted to be underwater, is not quite. Its famous hills remain above the bay, though the bay itself has crept 3 blocks inland along the Embarcadero. The financial district's old towers now stand in kind of a neo-Venetian arrangement. Their lower floors sealed and their ground level entrances placed by boat docks and elevated pedestrian bridges. So it's almost like Venice.
Yep.
Crazy. Can you imagine a world like this?
Not really.
They say demographically, California of 2276 is a place of its founders of 1850 would not recognize, and its founders of 1976 would find hauntingly familiar. The state has always been a destination. They say the dominant languages are English, Spanish, Mandarin. I forget how you pronounce the language of the Philippines. It looks like, I know it's not Tagalog, but I forget. I forget how you pronounce it. And an emergent Creole called Pacifican. It's a liquid musical tongue born in the schools of the San Gabriel Valley. Hollywood, now a museum district, an architectural heritage zone, gave way gradually to a distributed creative economy in which a narrative entertainment is co-authored by human artists and AI collaborators under strict attribution law. The studios, ironically, still exist, but they're just no longer in Los Angeles, no longer making what anyone in 2026 would consider or recognize as a film. California of 2276 is still the world's imagination, has simply changed what it imagines. I don't know how to read that. It's an interesting article. I'll post it so you guys can see it, but I don't know. Have you ever thought about life long after we're not on this planet?
To be honest, not really.
No?
I don't know if that's selfish or I just have too much stuff going on now that I'm just dealing with it now.
I've thought about it at times, about what civilization would look like long after and how it would develop. Like when I was young, like Buck Rogers in the 25th century always fascinated me. Just to think that, did they even, was it even, I know that was what we thought in the 70s and 80s, what we thought the 25th century would look like, but would it even be close, I mean, that sort of stuff always fascinated me, I told you before about a story about people in the Andes have evolved with a remarkable new ability. We're getting close to the end of the program here. The people who live in a remote part of the Andes seem to have the unique ability to safely drink water that would kill anyone else.
Okay.
It's a weird ability. The mountainous region of northern Argentina has thrown up a genetic surprise, one that has enabled the local people to drink the water without becoming unwell. Their naturally occurring arsenic typically makes its way into the groundwater, something that would normally make the water hazardous to human health and generally undrinkable. Nonetheless, the local people in the Andes seem to be able to drink it without any issues. As it turns out, natural selection has provided them with a genetic adaptation enabling their bodies to more safely metabolize arsenic. The discovery has been hailed as an example of evolution in action and demonstrates how life and even humans can adapt to environments and conditions that would otherwise prove unsafe. Adaptation drives genomic changes. However, evidence of specific adaptations in humans remains limited, researchers from Uppsala University wrote. Our data shows that adaptation to tolerate the environmental stressor arsenic has likely driven an increase in the frequencies of protective variants of AS3MT, providing the first evidence of human adaptation to a toxic chemical. Kind of an interesting new ability for those people to have, to be able to drink arsenic.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, go figure. Very weird indeed. All right. And finally, before we jump to our palate cleanser today, I told you, Mallie, that there's this weird story about a man in Scotland who needs his emotional support lizard. We talked about it a little bit on Dumb Crime, Stupid Criminals yesterday. A court in Scotland is set to hear a case about whether a man convicted of dangerous driving needs a reptile for mental health reasons. I just find this is one of the stupidest stories I've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and this is why, Mallie, he already had a bird. And we haven't figured out what happened to the bird. He's already a bad parent. Let me tell you what happened with this guy. Strangeness was afoot in Dundee earlier this month with regard to a man who has insisted that he needs to bring his pet bearded dragon along to social work appointments. The 38-year-old was handed the social work order after being convicted of dangerous driving. His lawyer had reportedly produced a card declaring that he had a bearded dragon as an emotional support animal, but the card itself didn't appear to be from a licensed mental health official. This has since led to a great deal of debate about whether or not the claim is legitimate and whether or not the social work department would or should allow him to bring the animal to appointments. As it stands, further proof from a psychiatrist is now needed to proceed with the claim. The man in question has previously been seen with a cockatoo on his shoulder, suggesting that he had a long affinity for pets or other emotional support animals. Whether a lizard will be considered appropriate in this case, however, remains to be seen. Now, he had claimed that this cockatoo was his emotional support cockatoo in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no mention as to what happened to the cockatoo.
Oh.
It's gone.
Right.
Now he's replacing it with this bearded dragon. And now this...
Hopefully the dragon didn't eat the bird.
Right. Right. And now this bearded dragon is supposed to be his emotional support bearded dragon. There was a picture of this thing that I showed yesterday. Let me see if I can pull it up here. That I had showed Jess. This guy, I don't think I'd trust him to cross the street to shake my hand, much less anything else. This guy looks like, I don't know what, but I gotta think he's trying to put one over on Scottish officials. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, that's the scooter rider. Here he is. All right. I just need this to pop up here. Here's this guy. Here's a picture of this guy kissing his bearded dragon. There he is right there. That's him kissing his bearded dragon. Oh, it says I'm using a pop-up. I'm not using... there we go. Here's a picture of him in his convertible with his bearded dragon. Notice the smiley faces on his headrests in his convertible. That's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like his little headrest covers.
Yeah.
Goofball.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't take him seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't. Yeah. And I think here's him with Shorty the cockatoo, which, by the way, Shorty the cockatoo is missing. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't take them seriously. I just can't. Don't know where Shorty the cockatoo is. I say, once we find Shorty the cockatoo, and by the way, justice for Shorty.
Right.
Then once we find Shorty, then I can sleep easy at night. Then we can talk about the emotional support
dragon,
bearded dragon. But not until we find Shorty the cockatoo. Figure out what happened to Shorty.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. All right, and finally, our palate cleanser for today might have a bit of a psychic tinge to it.
Okay.
You know, we've always been told, Mallie, on this program that psychics can't predict Powerball numbers. They can't predict when you'll win the lottery. Well, there may be one man in North Carolina who's going to call bullshit on that whole deal.
Okay.
North Carolina man says he had visions of lottery luck before winning a $100,000 Powerball prize.
Ooh.
Yeah. Turns out that a North Carolina man said he was having visions of lottery luck just before scoring a $100,000 prize from a Powerball drawing. Charlotte resident Eric Cargile told North Carolina education lottery officials he had a good feeling about the $3 Quick Pick ticket he bought from the June 10th drawing from the Quick Trip on West W.T. Harris Boulevard in Charlotte. He said, lately I've been having visions of winning the lottery. I have visions of winning the lottery all the time, but I never win.
Right. I don't. I need to start having these visions.
You don't? You never like daydream that you've won the lottery?
Once in a while, it's nice to think about it, but.
Okay. His visions came true when he scanned his ticket and was told he would have to collect his prize at lottery headquarters. Cargile said he wasn't sure how much he had won until he arrived at the office. I was thinking maybe like $10,000, Cargile said. It was a shocking feeling when I heard. I wonder how that works. If you win over a certain amount, if it just says, go see the office or what it says.
I would think so, because you don't want to announce how much you've won at a convenience store.
Maybe. He had matched 4 white balls in the red Powerball drawing, earning a $50,000 prize that doubled to $100,000 thanks to his springing for the power play option, which returned a 2x multiplier. Cargile said he plans to use his winnings to buy a house. How do you buy a house with $100,000? I don't care if you're in North Carolina. A house does not cost $100,000. I mean,
maybe use it for down payment.
Oh, okay, a down payment, sure, but can't buy a house with $100,000. I don't care who you are. But yeah, maybe a down payment. But yeah, can't imagine that you can buy much of anything with $100,000. Stuff is too expensive these days, Mal. You just can't get much house for $100,000. Maybe you get a nice apartment for that much, but you just can't buy that much. That's for sure. So what is going on in your world, my friend, as we head out to greener pastures here on a Wednesday?
I am just starting on Paranormal Girl again. I've put it aside for a while, and we're gonna start working on it again. It's time.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was on vacay, and now it's not.
Very good. Very good. All right.
It's back.
It's back. All right. So
yes.
we'll look.
How about you?
We'll look for new stuff there. Well, other than I'm a little behind on videos, so look for them to be updated this weekend. And by the way, happy 250th anniversary birthday to America this coming weekend. Methinks look for some new stuff in the store this weekend, maybe. I might get a little industrious this weekend. Methinks I'll promo tomorrow's show. How about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow we may go a little off the beaten track. I know you're not a big fan of the subject, Mallie, but tomorrow the enemy of my enemy is not necessarily my friend.
Okay. It's like a riddle.
Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence.
Oh.
Look at you. You're like, oh. AHHHH is with us. And we're going to be talking, he has a new book out called The Handy Artificial Intelligence Answer Book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So we're going to be dispelling some myths. We're also going to be talking about why we should be afraid of it, why we shouldn't be afraid of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to dive into this subject. The book is quite the interesting book. It's a really good book. I've had a chance to read it over, and it's got some really interesting topics and answers to those topics that will dispel a lot of myths for you. So we'll go through it with AHHHH tomorrow. So it's coming up tomorrow on the Best in Paranormal podcast. So
very cool.
Yeah. Figured about time we come around on the subject.
Yeah. It's due.
It's due. So yeah. It's a hot topic right now. You know, if the government's investing in it, we need to dive into it.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of it is now coming up on the stock market. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you know what? I got a notice the other day if I wanted to buy my domain as an AI. You know, instead of .com, .net, .whatever. It's like, do you want to buy it as .ai? And I was like, what?
Yep. .ai is a big extension now. So on the internet. So yeah, it's everywhere. So it's time to start answering some questions. So that's for sure. That's coming up tomorrow. So a couple of reminders before we get out of here. The executive producer of today's show is Troy Palmer. Troy, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
By the way, if you'd like to support the program, you can get your True Crime Tuesday swag or your Darkness Radio swag at darknessradioshow.com in the shop section. Be sure to check that out. The Darkness Radio app is available and it is updated. Be sure you head to the Apple Store and either update or download your Darkness Radio app there. It's all things Darkness Radio right there in one app. So make sure that you put it on your Apple device. Let's see. I think that is it for today. Also, by the way, if you want to see the video of this, if you're listening to the audio of this show and you want to see the video of it, you can go to either our YouTube channel, which is the original Darkness Radio, or you can check it out on darknessradioshow.com. All right, for Mallie Fox, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for continuing to watch and listen. The best in paranormal podcasting. We'll see you tomorrow for AHHHH. And we will be talking about the Handy Artificial Intelligence Answer Book right here on the Best in Paranormal Podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.